If you're like me and you're getting ready to upgrade your 2007 Toyota Solara with almost 200,000 miles on it, with 3 different types of rims on the car, with rust on the sides, with no bumper, but 2 12-inch subwoofers in the trunk, well, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is that used car prices are significantly lower today than they were just a couple of years ago. The bad news is that car insurance prices have been skyrocketing over those years. Americans spent an estimated 20% more on car insurance in 2023 than they did in 2022. That's the largest increase in insurance since 1976. Not to mention that car loans are also a lot more expensive today than they were a couple of years ago. But that's why we don't finance cars, right? Right? Good. So why is car insurance so much more expensive today than it was just a couple of years ago? Vehicles are more expensive and costlier to replace now because of inflation. We have a shortage of mechanics around the United States, which also means it's taking longer to fix vehicles. That means it's more expensive for insurance companies to cover the cost of rental cars. And then you have climate change because more vehicles are being damaged due to extreme weather. In other words, the hurricanes in Florida could be part of the reason why the average New Yorker is paying $3,374 a year for insurance. That's followed by Nevada at $2,975 a year, Florida at $2,917 a year, and Delaware for $2,806 a year. That unfortunately means even if you buy your car cash, you have this additional car payment, which is your car insurance. And right now, we've also been seeing gas prices steadily move upwards. But at least we're nowhere near the 2022 peak of gas prices when the average gas in America was over $5 a gallon. Now, let's get into the important stuff. Number 1, yes, this is actually the car that I drive. I use this car to pick up my brother-in-law from the airport this morning. I drove this car to the office this morning, and yes, this is my vehicle. Number 2, let's talk about what's going on in the car market. Now, a quick reminder that on April 2nd, I am hosting a live, free, and virtual real estate investing workshop where I'm going to be going over my own real estate investing strategies. I'm going to be talking about how I look for a good location to invest my money in for real estate. I'm going to talk about how I find a good property that's going to cash flow, and I'll talk about how I try to maximize the profits as a real estate investor. So, if you've been thinking about investing your money in real estate, or you want to see how you can do your next real estate deal even better, this is a free workshop. I would love for you to attend, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you'd like to join me on this workshop, all you got to do is register. We have a limited number of seats. All you got to do is click the link down in the description below. Auto delinquencies have been rising, and they just hit their highest levels since 2010. Now, naturally, a big reason for this is interest rates. Now, no one really knows what the Federal Reserve Bank is going to do with interest rates in 2024, but what we do know is that the Federal Reserve Bank is going to be less aggressive with their interest rate cuts in 2024 than what they originally projected. Now, this is bad news if you can't afford your car, which is why I'm so adamant on buying your car with cash. But this is also part of the reason why we've been seeing used car prices fall throughout 2023. In fact, used car prices are down about 21% since the 2021 peak. And if you're like me and you like visuals, here you go. You can see the used car price boom after the pandemic, but since that peak during the pandemic in 2021, they've been slowly coming down ever since. Now, even though we've been seeing this uptick in auto loan delinquencies, on the other end, we also have a record number of Americans that are paying more than $1,000 a month on just their car payments, not including their car insurance. But where are people getting all this money? Because you're seeing a lot of people driving these fancy Escalades, and when you add up that $1,000 car payment, plus your premium gas, plus your expensive insurance, plus your expensive maintenance, well, that's gonna be like a $2,000 a month cost just for one car. Well, it could be that people are making more money. It could be that people are pulling money out of their homes. It could be that people saw growth in their stock portfolio, or it could be that they used their Bitcoin to buy their Escalade. If you're looking for a car, I can't tell you what to do because I'm just a random guy on YouTube. But what I'm going to be doing is, number 1, I'm going to be looking for a slightly used car because I don't want to pay that price for a new car today. I'm not against new cars. I just don't want to pay all that premium today. So I'm going to be looking for a slightly used car, maybe a couple of years old. And then number 2, I'm going to be looking for a car that I can buy with cash. And I want to buy something that I can comfortably purchase so I don't have to worry about car payments. And the reason why is because, well, I know that a car is a liability. Cars are not there to make me money. Cars are there for me to use. And I know that car prices drop year after year after year after year. And then every time I say this, someone's gonna say, but Jaspreet, I got this antique car and it's been going up in value. Sure, if you know so much about cars and you can treat a car as an asset, you are the exception, you are not the rule. But for the average person, for 98, maybe 99% of America, a car is a liability. It is something that is sucking money out of your bank account each and every month. And so I'd rather you drive a car that you can comfortably afford with cash, that way you have more money to put into your own investments, because for me, where my money goes is number 1, into my own business, Briefs Media, number 2, into my real estate rental properties, number 3, into stocks, number 4, into my speculative investments. These are things like the startups that I invest in and the cryptocurrency that I've invested in, and then number 5, physical gold. I'd rather buy these things than a car. Now, I'm not against nice cars. I like nice cars. I like expensive cars too. But for me, this has been more important first, for me to invest my money into these assets first. And yeah, I will be buying a nicer car. What am I going to be buying? I know a lot of people have been asking. I'm not exactly sure yet. The car that I want is a Ford Raptor. The car that I will probably get is a Toyota Highlander, but we'll see what ends up happening. I'll keep you posted on this channel. But the key here is buy what you can afford that's not going to break the bank. And if you're going to buy a car that takes premium gas, don't complain about gas prices. Because if you're buying a car that takes premium gas, you should have the money to comfortably afford the premium gas. If gas prices are your problem because you bought a car that takes premium gas, you probably shouldn't have bought that BMW in the first place. Buy a car that you can comfortably afford, that way you can use your money to make yourself wealthy before you make everybody else rich. There are 3 reasons why I don't go out and finance a car. And the first reason is I'm paying interest on a car that is, number 2, losing value, that number 3, has a limited lifespan. Now, the argument for financing a car is, hey, you want to buy this $50,000 car, you can put $8,000 down, keep the